This is Coach Josh Bradley with the Clearwater Valley Rams. It is the day before we head down to the 2024 1A state tournament, and kind of a little tradition we started here is doing our own CV Rams state preview show. So today we're going to be asking some of our Ram baseball players a few questions overlooking their season and also what they're looking forward to as we head on to state down at Capitol High School in Boise. Real excited this year because we're going to be helping Idaho Sports broadcast, helping out bringing a few different camera angles, kind of some of the broadcasting things we've been doing just at our school here. So it should be a lot of fun, and we're looking forward to seeing the best that the South has to offer and making a little noise down there ourselves. So we're going to go ahead and get started here, chatting with some of our seniors and just asking them some questions about their season. So first up here we got one of our 2024 seniors, Landon Schleeper, number one on the field, number one in our hearts. How are we doing there, Lando?
Pretty good.
So one question I wanted to ask you is, obviously sitting next to an old Trevor there, you guys handled a lot of the pitching duties this year. So I'll kind of voice this question to both of you, but what were some of your favorite games that you guys pitched this season? Landon, we'll start with you.
Probably the Kendrick game and last game. Even though we lost the Kendrick game, I thought I did a pretty good job. But I would just say those games were probably my most efficient games. I mean, I pitched a lot of strikes, and I mean, I didn't have a lot of strikeouts last game, but you know, I still pitched a great game and made them put balls in play and get outs.
So you're talking about that Kendrick game down in Kendrick. Of course, that was a real close game. We had a 3-0 lead. That was our second league game with them, and had that 3-0 lead going late into it, and they kind of pulled away with a little late inning heroics. You know, speaking of Kendrick here, they're a team that we possibly would be facing. Obviously, they won the White Pine Tourney there. What do you got to say about them and their play this season?
I mean, they're a tough team. They seem to win all the close games, so I would kind of compare them to us last year. You know, they come out on top of those close games. They know how to put the ball in play, and they got a decent pitching staff, but it's going to be hard to beat us 4 times. I'm just ready to go out there and hopefully compete. I mean, we got to get past the first game, but I'm just hoping to go out there and compete and hopefully get back to where we were last year.
All right. Trevor, let's move on to you a little bit. Same question to you, bud. So what was one of your favorite pitching performances that you had this season?
So first was Potlatch. We went 10 innings with them. I mean, that game was just a dogfight, so it was fun to go out there and pitch during that. I mean, I know we lost. It was a tough game, but just fun to pitch that. And then when we played Troy down at Clearwater Park, I only pitched 4 pitches. But, I mean, I closed that game out, and we took the win, so.
Yeah, and that game was a big one. Kind of got us back on track there, getting the split with Troy. Very good team here this season. And that was kind of a fun one because you had to come in a pressure cooker situation. Obviously, Landon had the pitching duties to start that, ran out of pitches with 1 batter left, 2 of their top guys on base, and came up with a big out right there. So that was pretty exciting. Speaking of other teams then, you know, 2 teams that you kind of mentioned there, let's have your thoughts on Potlatch. You know, they took 4th place in the White Pine Tourney. They're going to be facing off against the top seed of the South, Glens Ferry. What's your thoughts on Potlatch and kind of what you think they'll do in this state tournament?
I think Potlatch will do good. I mean, Glens Ferry, I don't know what they're like because I haven't looked at stats on their team. But they hit the ball well. They got good pitchers. Jackson Vels he's a decent pitcher. They got good stick, like Waylon Marshall's really good. A couple other kids, they just put the ball in play.
All right, well put. And you got any thoughts on old Troy there, since we kind of touched on them too?
I mean, same thing. They put the ball in play and they got good pitchers.
All right, well said, buddy. We're going to go ahead and move on down to another senior right here. We got Mr. Talon Meyer. So, Talon, this year you kind of had some of the pitching duties yourself. You know, kind of got a chance to get on the mound a little bit. I think you even got a game ball you pitched Nez Perce, complete game. I can't remember if that was like a 1-hitter or something along those lines.
No-hitter.
A no-hitter. Obviously that was a great outing. You got any other moments you can think of pitching this year that you've really enjoyed?
Not really. I'm here to do a job. Just come up, deal, get out of it. get a few innings out.
I like it, and I think you've really upped your game in the outfield too. You know, we've had you kind of playing right field and then also DHing for us when we needed that as well, and you've done a solid job. So as we head down to face off against Lighthouse Christian here for this first round, you got any thoughts on kind of what we need to do to be successful in that game?
Playing loose, focusing on contact, really getting the ball out there, focusing on taking every pitch, winning every pitch. I'd say just keep our heads up, try doing our best. I know we can pull it off.
All right, well put. And we're going to go ahead and move on to another one of our seniors down here, Mr. Tommy Tanks. All right, old Tommy there. Tommy came to us from Parma this year, first year senior here at CV, so we didn't get a ton of chance to work with this guy, but really came on strong the last part of the season, been playing a solid left field for us and doing a little bit of the pitching duties, and even last game we put you in that kind of leadoff hitting spot. One thing I like about you, Thomas, is you know, I'm not going to say your swing is the prettiest thing out there, but you seem to get things done, and I like that, man. So going into this, you know, coming to CV from Parma, you played 3 years of baseball down in Parma, correct?
Yeah.
All right, man. So what's kind of been your experience coming to CV and being a part of this program this year?
Just the culture is a lot different. People are a lot different. Coaches try to keep the team like some sort of camaraderie more than down in Parma. Kids are kind of getting on each other all the time, so that's definitely different.
All right, man. So let's talk a little bit about your last game in Districts 2. We had a really awesome inning. You guys, you know, that last game facing Potlatch, actually Landon had a 4-pitch inning, and you made 3 outs with 3 catches there in left field. If y'all didn't catch that, go check the CV YouTube page and check that inning out. I can't remember what one it was, but pretty cool. Even kind of a little circus catch there at the end. So how comfortable are you feeling in left field this year? And you kind of feel at home there? And how you feeling there swinging the stick as well?
I'm feeling pretty comfortable in left field. It's a little boring out there, but that was a fun inning. All 3 of them right at me. And I'm feeling more comfortable with the stick as the season goes on, but still getting there.
Awesome. Well, glad to have you in a CV hat rather than that Parma hat there too, including old Tom. We'll take a look at his younger brother back there, the Harvey Danger mouse, while we're here too. Old Harvey Danger back there. He's a freshman, so we're looking forward to some fun things with him. Harvey, just real quick, man, what's your experience been like with the Rams this year? And I know we get a chance to work with you and Babe Ruth as well. I can't, speaking for Coach Barger and myself, we're just real excited to kind of see what you do over the next few years. So just give us some thoughts overall of what you thought of your first year as a CV Ram.
I mean, it's going pretty good. We got 3rd in districts and we're going to state, so I haven't ever been to state and stuff. Got some big games ahead. I got to play in the last game of districts a little bit. Didn't get to bat, but it's fun being part of the team, and I look forward to the rest of the season.
Awesome, buddy. Well, we're glad you're here too. Like I said, we talk about you often, just all the good things that you're going to do here with this CV Rams team. So let's go ahead and mosey on down. Since we're talking with outfielders, Coach, let's talk a little bit to Mr. Carson Schilling here. Carson Schilling, CV Rams center fielder, been an absolute dog in the outfield this year. I don't know how many putouts he's had. I'd have to check the stats, but he also has 0 errors out there and just gets to a ton of balls. Sticks really came alive this year as well. So what are your thoughts and kind of some of the adjustments that you think you've made from your sophomore to your junior year?
Outfield, I've just focused on catching the ball and not making errors, and then I've just been able to barrel up a lot more stuff this year at the plate. That's basically it.
All right, so kind of what's your, you know, I love your energy you bring to the team. You're kind of a goofball. Obviously, you've got some CV royalty in you with old Squishy Schilling as your brother coming up before you. Shout out to Squish, class of 2018. But I mean, just kind of walk us through a little bit, you know, your process there in the outfield. I know you're always on, you're always paying attention. But how do you track down some of those balls that you really get to, man? Are you just focused in, catching them off the bat, or What's kind of your thought process?
Yeah, as soon as the ball's pitched, I just try to find where it's going.
And you've done a good job this year. I love how you've really kind of been tuned into where runners are on base too, because you catch and you get rid of the ball really quick. So kudos to you, Carson. Keep up the good job, buddy. Let's move on down to the third in a long line of illustrious Fabbies that have donned the CV Rams uniform. Jake Fabby here, his junior year. Jake, you know, you've been kind of the dude that we make you do a little bit of everything, man. And this year, again, you fell into that second base role last year. You know, last year you didn't pitch at all, and then at state, all of a sudden you had to pitch against Horseshoe Bend. You know, we're coming up against Lighthouse Christian. Are we going to have to pull out the Fabby arm this year for a little state action too?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, every pitch I throw is a strike, no balls. Just know though, Lighthouse, whenever I get on the mound, the first guy always gets hit, so you assert dominance.
All right, Jake, so we've been playing you at second base, obviously doing a good job, and then, of course, catching. What are your thoughts going into this tournament? You know, we've got Lighthouse Christian first. What's your thoughts on what we're going to see there, and what do you think we need to do to pull off that win?
Well, I think I think we need to execute a good pitching strategy. We'll keep old Trevor under the amount of pitches so he could pitch day 2, and keep Landon, hopefully keep Landon under 35 and have him pitch that other day. And I mean, I'm honestly not too worried about Lighthouse. Yeah, sure, they dropped down from the 2A, but I mean, as the years have shown, it's been the North, baby, in the semis.
All right. Well, we appreciate all the energy you bring to this team. You're kind of the glue that keeps everybody going, man, and that's a big part of this squad. I think Thomas kind of hinted on that a little bit earlier about keeping positive. So let's move on down the line to a sophomore, Mr. Stinky Linky himself, Lincoln Barger. Linky, you know, hey, sophomore year, man, you got a chance. You kind of been one of those utility guys that's kind of came on strong later on, especially. We kind of worked you around a bunch of different positions. You pitched a little bit, but this last district game, we wanted a little more speed in the outfield, so we ended up putting you in right field. And that was all earned just kind of because what we were seeing you do in practice on some scout team stuff. So what are your thoughts on, going forward and possibly playing quite a bit of right field in this state tournament?
Yeah, you know, I think I've been doing my best for the season, and I've just been right behind, you know, the starters. And when I got my chance in districts, I just tried to do my best to show what I could do. And I wasn't hit that many balls. The first game I got hit 2 balls in the last inning, and I got to close that out. That was good. And I just think going into state, we need to just do our best, and I know that we can. I think we have a good shot if we do our best, you know, minimize the errors and the walks, and I think that we could go all the way.
All right, well put. Let's move on down the line to another one of our Myers brothers right here. We got B-Rock himself, the sophomore sensation. All right, B-Rock is kind of taking over those first base duties for us. Got a little bit of a minor hand injury right here from going so hard in our last district game. But Barack, what's your thoughts on how you've progressed this year as a first baseman? I know, this is kind of your time to shine. We have a little nickname for you called Postseason Barack because you seem to come alive in the postseason. Last year as a freshman, you weren't even a starter starting the season, and then before postseason, your bat just got so hot we couldn't keep you out of the lineup. So what's your philosophy here on kind of the strides you made as a first baseman, and what are you looking forward to this state tournament?
I was trying to do my best. Last year, there's an injury in right field, and we had to switch some people around, and that left me at first. I tried to do what I could for my team, and it worked out well. But yeah, I just tried to do my best at first. Just do what I can, get in front of the ball, do what it takes.
All right, we're looking for more postseason B-Rock coming at you there, and looking for more good stuff. So let's move on down the line. We're going to talk to another one of our brothers here, Tegan Alman. All right, Big Tegan, it's your freshman year. First year playing high school with us. Obviously, we got a Babe Ruth practice going on behind us, and you're part of that team as well. But give us your thoughts on your first year of high school baseball with the CV Rams.
I feel like it's pretty fun. I don't really know that much. I don't play, so.
Well, you play JV, Tegan. Come on now.
I don't know.
All right. Well, you've been a big contributor. You know, we talk about just kind of having that extra man in the dugout. I would say our dugout is more alive than any of the other ones out there, and you know, even our JV guys, man, that stuff's important. So we appreciate you there, Tegan, and looking forward to you taking over the pitching duties from Trevor when he's gone. So we'll move on down the line to another sophomore here. Tristan Hill, Tristan's sophomore year. You know, Tristan came to us his freshman year, I don't even think he knew what a baseball was, but he's made some huge strides and turning into a pretty decent ball player. Another support player this year, but you know, love his energy in the JV games, and then just all the support and help he gives the varsity team during our games. So what are your thoughts? What are you looking forward to as we make our trip to state?
I wish that we have a good practice at Highland. I don't know what it's called.
At Horseshoe Bend? All right, big dog. Well, Tristan, we love you, kid. We appreciate all the support there. All right, so we're going to move on to Josh Gardner. Josh, you've got a pretty great story. You know, last year you started the season, and you're a junior this year. Started the season as our first baseman, and honestly, we'll just be honest with you, you kind of duffed that up and, you know, got pulled, lost your position. And then I've just been real proud of how you came back this year. You kind of got a shot at third base, and you really ran with it. And, you know, we stuck with you through one bad game, but I thought you bounced back after that bad game, and you've been a very serviceable third baseman in 2024. So what are your thoughts on kind of taking over that third base position? And what are you most excited about going to state?
I'm most excited about going to state last year with my seniors, and then also having the chance to take the state championship. And I like third base. Thanks, Brock, for taking first. I like it better than first. I get more plays over there, and I don't have to worry about as much as everything riding on me if I pull my foot or miss a dig or anything. And that's about all I got about third base.
All right, man. So let's move on to baby T, Thiago himself. Thiago, he's also a junior for us, taking over most of the catching duties, except when he's on the mound, and that utility player, Big Jake Fabby, has to step back there. But Thiago, man, the progression you've made as a catcher here has been huge. We have a whole saying, you know, no pass balls, and you really kind of you solidify that saying. You know, maybe won a game if they're lucky, but you've done a great job keeping the ball in front of you. So we head into state here. What are your thoughts on the catching position, and what are you most excited for?
I mean, I really like catching now because, like, last year when they put me behind the dish, it didn't really, like, feel that fun at all. But, like, at the end of the day, they put me at second when someone else was on the mound and Jake was still catching. And I just felt so out of place. And catching, that's just my job now, and I actually really enjoy it, working with the pitchers and, Coach Barger. And, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
All right, man. We're looking forward to a great postseason. We're going to go ahead and take a look down here with another freshman, Connor Christensen. Connor, you're kind of in that support role this year. You know, the Babe Ruth guys are out here. You're a freshman, and so you kind of got high school that you're playing, and then you got Babe Ruth too. What do you feel like you've learned this year as a freshman player on the CV Rams?
I've learned quite a bit. Just, you gotta...
Well, it's one thing you can take from this season that you've learned.
You gotta be loud in the dugout. You can't be quiet, and you gotta have...
Just got to keep that positive energy.
Yeah.
All right, big dog. Well, we certainly appreciate you. Let's go ahead and span out here, Coach, a little bit. Get all these guys. We're going to ask them a couple of rapid fires, especially for older guys. So I'm going to read off some of the matchups here, and we need some predictions, all right? So let's see. Let's go First game, game one, coming up Wednesday night, 9 a.m. You've got the number 1 seed, Kendrick, versus from the north, the number 4 seed, Idaho City from the south. Let's go, Jake. Who's got that game?
Kendrick 20+.
All right, that's an aggressive play. I got you. All right, next game coming up, we got Clearwater Valley, number 3 seed, going against Lighthouse Christian, the number 2 seed from the south. Carson, let's go ahead and ask you. Carson, what do you got in that game?
Plus 15 running third.
All right, very aggressive right there. Okay, Carson. Next game, we got the number 1 seed from the south, Glens Ferry, against number 4, Potlatch. Let's go ahead and ask Landon over there.
I mean, Potlatch, but I think that it'll be close until like the first few innings, and I think Potlatch will probably win by 8 or more. Because I know Glens Ferry has a couple decent dudes. So.
All right, and then we'll go ahead and look down to Troy, number 2 Troy, and number 3 Vision Charter. Let's go ahead and ask Trevor over there about that one.
Troy.
You got Troy?
Yep, Troy.
You got any score?
On third.
You're going in the third, huh? You think they're going to bust it out? All right. All right. Since we're down there, a couple other things. Real quick, Trev, who do you think was the most dominant pitcher you faced this season hitting?
Ty Kep.
Ty Kep?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially in that game in districts. I mean, we all struggled against him, and I don't think he walked a single person that game. He pitched really well, and we could not make contact with the ball. He changed speed super good, and we struggled. So yeah, I think Ty.
Okay, Ty Kep. Anybody else? Any other pitchers they want to give kudos to that they thought pitched well on other teams this year?
Dominic Holden. Yeah. I give a shout out to Dominic.
Okay, Dom Holden.
Pitched a great game in the district game.
JMO.
Not very many hits.
You can throw a little love to Potlatch there. All right, Jameson Morris there. Yeah, he was a decent pitcher this season.
Jackson kid pitched a good game against us.
Who's that?
The kid from Potlatch.
Jackson Vowles.
Jackson Vowles.
He pitched a good game against us.
All right. So a little bit of love there. All right, you guys as pitchers. Next question. Who's one of the top hitters you say that you've faced this year in the White Pine League? Landon, who do you think?
Probably. I haven't really struggled against any hitters, but
just from what you see, who do you think is probably some of the top hitters that you faced?
Makai Durrett. That kid. Every time I pitched against him this year, he's put the ball in play. So I would say probably him.
All right, Makai Durrett from Troy. Let's see. What about you, Trev?
Yeah, Makai for sure. Tucker. I forget what his last name is. He plays for Troy. Not Troy.
Kendrick. Tucker Ashmead,
yeah,
I think.
Him for sure. And then probably, I don't know, Waylon. I don't know. I haven't struggled with that many batters either, really. I don't know.
Okay. Waylon Marshall there from Potlatch as well. Okay. All right. Well, we're looking forward to headed down to Capitol High School tomorrow morning. Getting on the bus at 8:45, and it's going to be a lot of fun here. We've got a great group of kids. We're taking down 16 of us, and these guys are ready to get after it. So we're going to get in here for a little Go Rams break, and we'll see you down in Boise. Get in here, boys. Here we go, loud as you can. Rams on 3. 1, 2, 3. Rams! What do you think, Coach?